Kalonzo, hii imeenda, hii Kalonzo imeenda, hii imeenda. In my opinion, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is not a watermelon. Raila is. In my opinion, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is a chameleon. There is a Swahili saying that hakuna ajuaye rangi ya kinyonga isipokuwa kinyonga mwenyewe na Mwenyezi Mungu. His indecisiveness is his strongest point. Yet, it is his weakest point. It is both his strongest point and the weakest point. As I've said repeatedly, he belongs to the gentleman's political class. And the gentleman political class in Kenya, we have kina Musalia Mudavadi, Eugene Wamalwa, Mwai Kibaki, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, you name it. Ruffian political people are leading is Raila Amolo Odinga. People like the President William Samoei Ruto, and so on and so forth. They are very good in a political rally and whatever. But political gentlemen are good in running the country, but not politicking. Such people only succeed if they are compromise candidates, like Kibaki. So if the joint opposition settles on Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, I would expect Ruto to be very much concerned. But if they settle on somebody like Rigathi Gachagua, it will be a fight between political bullies, and Rigathi plays in the Super League, and Ruto plays in the Premier League. And in my opinion is that these political gentlemen like Kibaki and Kalonzo Musyoka, once they are sworn in, they run the country very well. The problem here is, would they be given an opportunity? Will everybody in the opposition accept to leave it to Kalonzo Musyoka? That is the problem. There has been a constant, and I dare say deliberate move to pull Kalonzo Musyoka over. Ask any lady, she will tell you that a firm no sends away or ends the whole story. So, a lady they are taught, I don't know where, that you say no, but you don't say it so strong because ABCD. But playing hard to get encourages the pursuer. Playing hard to get encourages the pursuer. Now, I think this is where Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is. Sometimes, many a times, his answer comes late. Many a times, I believe, his answer comes late. In the year 2022, he ended up in Azimio, but too late. The damage had been done. Supposing he had made a stand, and a firm stand at that, much, much earlier. Suppose he had made a stand, a firmer stand, much, much earlier for Azimio. And also, supposing he had made a stand, a firm stand, much earlier for Kenya Kwanza, things would have been different. But him making a decision at the 11th hour That is the definition of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Remember, the outcome of 2022 was determined by a very small margin. So his deciding to be in Azimio at the last minute may have even changed the small margin. Who knows? Maybe it would have been a small margin, yes, but the winner would have been the loser, and the loser would have been the winner. But one thing we should note is his characteristic can be taken in two ways. It can be taken in two ways. He made Raila lose. Consequently, he made Ruto win. Those two ways. He made Raila lose, and consequently, he made Ruto win, just as I've explained. I want to think that this will place the two sides in the following modes. This will place the two sides in the following mode. One, Ruto will have to pursue him a lot, and Rigathi Gachagua has to act protectively. That is why you find this thing. You see, when they are talking, okay, I understand, and I think you should understand that I have an NIS background. So kindly understand my stand and my reading of things. When I look at a public rally, I try to look at the hidden message. That is from my training. I try to look at from the hidden message, and the hidden message is when Rigathi all the time keeps on saying that if Ruto wants Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, he has to pass through. There is a lot of things an NIS officer will read through. One, it is true that Ruto is pursuing Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, is pursuing him. And as you have seen, the person who has been given that mandate or that duty is Kindiki. And it is true that Gachagua is aware. So Gachagua is trying to warn off. When he's talking in public meetings and saying, if you want, he's trying to pass a message to Ruto that we are aware and I am the gatekeeper. I've heard one of my viewers are saying that, is that not the exact word he used to say? Nimeka mitego, 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 mitego. History repeats itself, and a bright person learns from the mistake of another, but a foolish person learns from mistake of himself, or even does not even learn from himself. But the important thing here is that he is being pursued. He's being pursued again and again. And he's not yet decided, because if he would have decided, he would have given an emphatic word, a strong word, like the girl who says no and the guy goes away immediately. But when you say a honey-coated no, the guy comes and pursues you, isn't it? So he has not said, and all these things are being talked by other people, not Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. We have heard everybody talk about it. We have not heard Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka talk about it. We have not heard Ruto talk about it. What I would say that if you look at the way Ruto is doing, he's talking after the act. Who knew hours before? Who knew that Kanu and Gideon would go back? So Ruto talks after the action. Rigathi Gachagua talks before the action. This added to, being in the incumbent and knowing how to tune in the levers, not like the way Uhuru was in the second term. You could be from a very powerful position. Ruto could also be encouraged by the way he bagged Kanu. The way he bagged Kanu. We don't know what happened to Mangidi. We just in an ambush, what we were taught at GSU training school, and what any paramilitary person is taught, the element of surprise is supreme. You'd see that, when we vote in a democracy, we don't vote for the best person, we vote for the most popular person. Now, for an ambush like that one of Mangidi, sends a very strong message to the electors, and it affects the electors when it comes to election. Nobody, including me, expected that that thing would happen, especially the timing. The timing was during the big by-election. You remember 1966, we had little general election, but this one is now a big by-election. How will it affect the outcome? Obviously, we can say that Baringo senatorial seat is just like, what do you call? We could conclude that Baringo senatorial seat is it's already UDA has already bagged it. If the bread-based government gets less than 80% in the next big by-election, then it should be considered to have failed. It should be considered to have failed, because if you look at the way these people are going, left, right, and center, is that let us take DCP. DCP has 3 seats. Yeah, one of it they rushed to replace the Magarini, the Kilifi one. They rushed to replace the person. So even the person who has been there will be a problem there. You come to Malava, you find that the candidate in Malava for UDA, is talking issues, talking topics. But if you look at the DCP campaign team, you compare it to DAPK team, they are attacking each other. They are attacking each other. Party ya Wabukusu, the other one saying the DCP candidate must step down for the opposition to be. They are fighting each other. The time they'll stop fighting each other is when the results are out, when they'll rush to election court to say that the elections had been stolen. This is how it is stolen, mark you. This is how it is stolen. There's no other way that it is stolen. It is this way. This is the way it is stolen. And then you say it is stolen. Of course, the DAPK candidate has already given brief to a lawyer. He has already given a brief to a lawyer who is known, who came into prominence because of election matters, impeachment in the Senate and whatever. If it were not for impeachment, were it not for election matters, this lawyer would not be known. So he has already, and anyway, let me not go there. Somebody should get my Mufiala from Madeira and give him some pressure dawa. He has to give him some pressure dawa because don't be shocked that around, if the way they have taken Mangidi, if they go that way, it is possible that around November 15th, SKL, that is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, may defect around that. And imagine supposing Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka makes such a move on 15th November. That is shortly before the big by-election. That is why I'm saying somebody should get my Madeira Mufiala some pressure drugs because actually things would not be good. Now I know why Rigathi calls Ruto, wewe muuaji. He likes calling him, wewe Ruto, wewe muuaji. Now I think I agree with Rigathi that Ruto ni muuaji. Because should Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka defect in mid-November, then Ruto will be guilty of murdering Wamunyoro son and be murdering Wamunyoro son, because that would be just too much for him. You see, these are two leaders. Wamunyoro is doing his work overtly, and Ruto is doing it covertly. Otherwise, Kalonzo Musyoka, hii imeenda. Huyu ameenda kabisa. Mark my word, mark my video, and you'll agree with me. Thank you.